John knows. John in the office? Yeah. All right, talk to Larry. Yeah, today's a hybrid day. Yeah. So we're just trying to television stuff. So I got this thing here on Friday.
Oh, yeah. No, we got somebody going.
Yeah.
We got a guy that does most of our court cases.
Does anyone need anything in here? No? Water, coffee? You want a coffee? I'm gonna go check this out. Black or? Okay.
Really? Were you living 23?
23 and 94.
Not too far.
No, but they were going. Yeah. You think the technology send me something like that. Right.
I figured today's
Yeah.
gonna be a crazy day.
Very limiting.
What's up, Lauren? What are you doing? Yeah, I'm in Shelby Township.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and I'll be able to get from here to Troy.
Yes, I am. Oh, beautiful. All right, I gotta let you go. Yeah, it's good to see you too.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Shelby Township. Thank you for coming on this solemn occasion. We're going to go over the facts of a double homicide that occurred on Friday, November 7th. Our police officers were dispatched on Friday, November 7th at 12:38 p.m. to Star Auto Sales. It's located at 47092 Ryan Road for a welfare check. An employee who was out buying parts at the time came back into the office and observed his boss and another male down in the office with gunshot wounds. At this point, I'd like to introduce my team. Although Mr. Lucido is a Macomb County prosecutor, he's been an integral part of this investigation, and so is his prosecutors. I'm sorry, he's over here. My deputy chief, Jason Schmiller, runs operations. Lieutenant Brandon Dowdy. Brandon is their detective commander, and he also is their SWAT team commander, which is called our Tactical Response Unit. Tommy Gibbs is the officer in charge of the homicide investigation, and then Jason Armstrong is our team leader for our Tactical Response Unit, which was critical. Over here to my right is Mr. Ron Robinson. He's our state rep for the area. Mr. John Vermeulen, one of our trustees. Our officers arrived on scene at 12:41 p.m., and we discovered 2 males, both deceased from gunshot wounds. They were in the office of Star Auto Sales. The victims have been identified as Gaith Babone. He's a 48-year-old male from Clinton Township. His picture is going to be put up on the board for you. And then the owner of the business, Marvin Batu. He's a 40-year-old male from Shelby Township. He was also the owner of the business. Marvin is a married father with 3 young children under the age of 5 years old. And I apologize, Gaith also was married with children. I just don't know how many children that Gaith had. Our officers immediately deployed our canine, our drones, detectives, our evidence technicians immediately and began investigating. We discovered 5 9mm shell casings that were located inside of the office. Surveillance video from inside of the business showed the suspect entering the business and shooting both Baban and Batu from point-blank range. Video showed that the suspect was a black male wearing black clothing and wearing a mask to hide his identity. Video also showed the suspect exiting the store and leaving the business on foot. He walked away very coolly. I think some of you might have seen the video already. That was released not by us, but by, I think it was a local business. Through our detectives' interviews, we learned that a black male had been in the business approximately 3 weeks ago, arguing and making threats to the owner regarding the sale of a vehicle. It was a Hummer vehicle. It was purchased for, I think, $3,000. Closed-circuit TV review and our flock camera system, which has done an incredible job for us, determined a potential getaway vehicle. The vehicle was determined to be a rental vehicle. What's the name of the rental? Turo. I never heard of it before. They had to teach me about it. So my understanding is this, I want to explain this for a second, how complicated this became. So when we identified what we thought was the suspect's getaway vehicle, when we run the registered, our flat cameras and surveillance video picked up the license plate. It comes back registered to a guy. So we thought this was the guy. Well, it turns out that his name has 100 vehicles registered to him. So thankfully, when we called him, he answered the phone, and he explained this is a Turo vehicle, and here's who we rented the car to. And who he rented the car to was the man that had the trouble with the Hummer a few weeks earlier. We immediately locked in on this suspect. At that point, our detectives, led by Brandon Dowdy, identified Terrence Jermaine Sandals. He's 46 years old, and he's from Houston, Texas area. At that point, we contacted Mr. Lucido's office and obtained a search warrant for the vehicle and for the location where we identified him. And how we identified him was through another search warrant on his phone. Our Special Investigations Unit, which I'm extremely proud of, was able to locate the suspect vehicle at a hotel room in Romulus. At that point, we immediately set up surveillance on the vehicle while we obtained our search warrants for evidence from the hotel room. Surveillance video from the hotel showed the suspect entering the hotel approximately 1 hour after the murders. He was wearing the same clothing and shoes as we saw on the surveillance video from the double homicide. Our Shelby Township Tactical Response Unit went into action. Our team made the location with the search warrant in hand. We executed a no-knock warrant that was signed by the magistrate, and we immediately went into the room and arrested Sandals. Laying in bed with Sandals was a handgun. He had another handgun on the dresser of the location. Cash that was stolen from the location was also recovered. We did have assistance from the Sterling Heights Special Response Team also. We have a great relationship with them, and they sent 4 of their operators to help us, and they were there stationed outside of the motel in case the guy jumped out a window which we've experienced before, and we'd like to thank them for that. The suspect was placed under arrest exactly at 5:58 a.m. I mentioned that the guns were in the room with him. One was laying right in bed with him. We did recover other evidence linking him to the double homicide. At this point, I'm going to turn everything over to Mr. Peter Lucido, the Macomb County Prosecutor. And Pete, where are you? I didn't mention this.
I'll take care.
Okay, right here.
Thank you, Chief.
Sure.
Welcome, everybody. Good morning. I'd like to first tell everybody thank you for being here, but also a gratitude should be owed to not only Sterling Heights Chief, but the Romulus Police Department, Utica Police Department, and the Michigan State Police and the FBI for their assistance in this case. Undoubtedly, it takes an army to bring somebody to justice. Terrence Sandals was arraigned on Monday, yesterday, in the 40 Wayne A District Court. He's held without bond. These are the charges that were authorized and issued by the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office. There's 2 counts of homicide in the first degree, premeditated, life without parole, 6 counts of weapons, felony firearm. This individual has a lengthy record out of Texas. Also, there's a felony warrant for him that's out there and is outstanding, and they probably will extradite him once we get the governor's warrant. There's 2 counts of armed robbery and 2 counts of possession of firearm by a felon, 1 count of carrying a concealed weapon, and habitual fourth, which is any term of years up to life. These are very serious charges. These are very serious in nature, and to have it happen here in our neighborhood, as well as here in Macomb County, it's not just troubling, it's tragic. The loss of 2 individuals and their families that have to suffer as a result of this. So again, thank you, Chief, for all the hard work, and everyone who was part of this. Thank you for doing what you do every day. And right now, I think we are going to take questions, Chief, at this point. Any questions by any of the news media that's here today?
Any idea or evidence that this guy was from Skip Town, being found at that hotel near Detroit Metro Airport?
No, we don't believe so. He was actually living out of the motel at the time. Hotel.
What, can you share what brought him here? Meaning, how long he was here? I mean, at first blush to a layperson, somebody from Houston, and then coming to an apparent nondescript car dealership in Macomb County. You mentioned previously having an argument over a vehicle. I mean, why was he here, to your knowledge? Did he have a previous relationship with them?
Yep. So my understanding is that there's an active felony warrant. So he was fleeing. All his crimes he's committed in the past have all been in the Houston area. So when this new warrant for his arrest, which he's aware of, we believe he came up to Michigan at that time. Now, he also, I mentioned he bought a vehicle from the Star Auto before, and then they had a dispute. He thought it was a lemon. They went back and forth arguing about it. And at a certain point, he just dropped the vehicle off, correct? And just left it there.
So that was the impetus then of what happened?
100%, yeah, yes. Let me clarify something. He didn't go in to rob, and this was no hit. He went in to kill that man, to kill the owner, and then Mr. Baban just happened to be there at the time. So
was Mr. Baban a friend of?
He's a friend. I shouldn't say interested. We believe that he was there to purchase some vehicles from Mr. Batu.
So he was a customer?
Yes. Yep. They had some kind of relationship because they're in the office, obviously very comfortable. So, yes.
You talked about extradition potentially, but wouldn't homicide in Michigan be a higher charge and more?
Yep. Let me first start off by saying that we totally had 15 charges yesterday for the arraignment. We have withdrawn 2 of those charges. One was the drug charge, even though the drugs were present at the time of the arrest, and also a felony firearm that goes with it, the 2-year. They all run consecutive in nature. So it's down to 13 charges at this point that he will be seen. It's because another agency that's involved, a task force, is more interested in those drugs that were found, and they'll be looking into it, but there's no telling whether or not we're going to rejoin those charges at some time. Like anything else, when a case is under investigation, it's ongoing, innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. This man has every right to be presumed innocent based on the nature and circumstances, though It's no bond means something here. In addition, I want to tell you about the extradition. A governor's warrant is necessary for the state of Texas to take this individual and have him extradited back to the state on the open warrant, on the open felony warrant. And he has assault of nature crime, so I'm sure they're going to be looking for him. But you're absolutely right. The murder charges both carry with it life without parole. It would be futile, if you will, to go back on a charge that doesn't carry life.
So forgive my ignorance, I don't mean to grind it to a fine powder here, but why would that even be a consideration when he's wanted for premeditated murder here?
Okay, number one, that warrant had stayed out there and they put it in lien in their own system in the state of Texas. Number two, they have every right to him, like anyone else that has rights to individuals that have committed crimes in their state or in their county. As a result, if this case, for whatever reason, is concluded, they may not need it at that point, just housekeeping rules, which is they would go ahead and do a plea by maybe even over Zoom.
Can you describe Mr. Sandals' connections to the Detroit area? Why was he in this area? Does he have family here?
We're still investigating that, but like I said, what I think, and I think some of my men agree with me, that he was fleeing Texas, had some kind of connection up here, but we're still looking into that.
He was working in this area?
Yeah, not legitimate work, a different kind of work, if that makes any sense. So
The quantity of cocaine, are you able to say, large amount, quote unquote?
it was enough to charge him with distributing, but we're not going to do that right now, and the prosecutors are working through that. Not to say we're not going to come back in the future and get a warrant, but right now the prosecutors have decided not to do that.
And if you don't mind, a couple of timeline questions. To your knowledge, how long has he been in Michigan and at the hotel? And it was 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago that he purchased the car and was upset about it?
The vehicle was over a month ago. Brandon, can you answer those questions, please? 5 weeks. Okay, 5 weeks he purchased the car.
Right.
And then there's a discrepancy about, he's saying something different how long he's been in town, and our investigation's showing he's been in town longer than that. So we're looking into all this right now.
I don't mean to monopolize, but it also struck me as why would he come all the way to Shelby Township when there's plenty of car dealerships in Romulus and Wayne County?
Good question.
Yeah.
Good question.
Do we know?
No, we don't know. In fact, if anything, all these pieces that we have clearly give a picture of what has happened, but every little nuance that's being asked, we're looking into still.
There's one more thing I want to add too. Our SIU detectives, they went in like super sleuths. I've read cases before where these young guys now with their technology, they went in and they were able to access our Shelby Township Special Investigations, and our detectives under Lieutenant Dowdy were able to go in, grab the server, pull the video up immediately. Like within minutes, we saw the whole thing would happen. And this is, I don't even think I could pull the server up in my own house, if that makes any sense. So I was beyond proud of them. These guys trained for this. We're prepared. Our 4 pillars of our police department are preparedness, which our men were, and women. Pride, which we take great pride in protecting Shelby Township, keeping it safe. Professionalism, which we strive for daily. And incredible, outstanding teamwork done by our men and women of the police department. I've been doing this for 39 years now. All 3 counties, 3 major police departments. I don't think I've ever been more proud of my staff in my life than I am right now.
Any other questions?
Can you reveal how much cash was stolen? Any other items were stolen from the facility? Cash that was in the, I assume it was with the business that Mr. Sandals allegedly stole?
I didn't hear the question.
The amount of cash that Mr. Sandals stole from the business?
Yeah, the amount.
Of that, and were there any other items stolen?
The cash only was stolen. Do we want to give that out? No, we can't give that out. Not now. We're still, like I said, I'm probably saying too much.
And assuming the firearms that you found at the hotel, that was the one used in the crime about an hour or so beforehand?
They won't let me say this, but I'll tell you I'm 100% confident that the murder weapon was recovered.
I guess he just answered the question.
I'm a family member. Can I have one question?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, you said there's an open warrant for him in Texas.
Yep.
So he's carrying whatever he had here back with him to Texas, so you guys transfer him to Texas?
Let
Go
me
ahead,
take
Pete,
it.
please.
Yeah, and I'm sorry about your loved one who's been lost. I truly am. After reviewing this information and seeing what happened, it is horrific. So sadness goes out, but our hearts go out to the family.
So he's transferred to Texas?
Okay, he's not transferred to Texas. He'll be sitting in the Macomb County jail until we get this case resolved. He will be staying right here. A governor's warrant won't stop our prosecution and furtherance of this case in its making. As a result, after this case has been concluded, then, and only then, will they have rights to this prisoner.
So, if possible, can be transferred to Texas. They have everything, whatever got here, transfer with him.
No, that doesn't, the crime was committed here in Shelby Township.
Okay.
As a result, Shelby Township has the jurisdiction and will be prosecuting this crime to the fullest extent of the law.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
How many homicides in Shelby Township? Is this the first one this year?
No, that's a, so I've been a chief here for just under 11 years. My first 5 years, we had one total. I think I was 4 or 5 years into my career, one total in 5 years, and that was a domestic. So tragically and unfortunately, just since June, we've had 5 already. And there's one more thing I forgot, to be remiss if I didn't mention. Our Board of Trustees, they've given us everything that we've asked for. We have 50 flat cameras positioned around the township to keep our township safe. In other communities, they don't like this. We love our flat cameras. Our residents want our flat cameras here, and so do our business owners. We've solved countless crimes with these cameras, and our board members have done this. All our equipment, our gear, everything I asked them for. Rick Stathakis is in the back of the room, our township supervisor, they give us. And I have to say that because I know what goes on with my colleagues around the area, and they get told no repeatedly. We don't get that here. They want us to keep the township safe, and that's what these men and women of our department do for us. Mr. Lucito's a resident here in Shelby Township. I text him first thing Saturday morning, if you saw the work that our staff did, you'd be so proud. And they called and blew my phone up immediately, telling me the same thing. So I said, I can't express enough how proud I am of our team. These guys, they care, they're skilled, they're professional. I was amazed how quick they were able to pull the video up. Please. Oh, I'm sorry. And one of our other board members is in the back, Lisa Casali, and I mentioned John Vermeulen already over here to my right.
Just to be clear before we go, this is apparent retribution for an anger over a $3,000 vehicle.
We can only suspect what it is. We can only, envision what it was based on the representations and the facts in the case, and the car being left there, the vehicle.
I'd like to call up real quick our township supervisor, Rick Stathakis. He's been a township supervisor since 2008. Boss?
Yeah, thank you very, don't go anywhere. Thank you very much. I just want to say on behalf of the Board of Trustees and all the residents in Shelby Township, we want to thank and congratulate the entire PD. You guys have just done a great job. Pete Lucito's always been here, and I see we've got Ron Robinson as well, our representative. But I just want to say, yes, thank you, congratulations. But when we solve these cases, we kind of move on, because that's what we're supposed to do. But I see we've got a family member in the back, and I just want to say to the victims of the families of these victims, we continue to pray for you. We know that you will be grieving forever, and we will not forget this, and we continue. You are in our prayers, and we want you to know that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Robinson, I think, go ahead.
Mr. Robinson?
Yeah, I'm just extremely proud, and the quickness and this was resolved, and the police work is just second to none in Macomb County as far as I'm concerned. But again, it's teamwork. So I'm glad that there's other municipalities involved, and I could just not be more proud of the work that they've done here. Shelby Township, Sterling Heights, they're safe places. Warren, they're safe places. So if you commit a crime here, you're going to face justice. So thank you for your hard work to get this done so quickly.
I want to address the Channel 7 gentleman in the back. I want you to know that we've gotten arrest warrants on every case. We've solved every one immediately.
Is there any speculation on why there's been so many this year?
Yeah, we've talked about this, beat it to death. Crime has no boundaries anymore. And when criminals think they can go unpunished and walk out the next door, they go anywhere they want. And it drives me crazy. And we're vigilant on keeping this township safe, and we do everything possible to do that. Some of the stuff, there's nothing we can do about. These domestics, You know, this, I don't know how we could have stopped this. We were forced to, my deputy chief made me watch the video this morning. I don't like to see this stuff, okay? I've been dealing with it my whole career. I have young kids at home, and I made Mr. Lucido watch it also. And we debated on showing it here, and we went, I'm sorry. Bottom line is, we're going to save it for trial. That's the bottom line. We're going to save it for trial. It's very upsetting. Out of respect for the family. I mean, they're going to have to see it eventually to trial, but we're not showing it. We're not going to allow it.
Any other questions? Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.